Hey, it's Bill, the Kansas Flamingo Chef, and I have a question for you. Do you like lobster? Stay tuned. That's a 1-pound Brazilian lobster tail. Before you can make a twice-baked potato, first you have to make a baked potato. If you have not seen my episode on how to make a baked potato in an air fryer, go back and watch it. It makes an awesome baked potato, but you can bake a potato however you want. So I'm going to take this air fried baked potato, I'm going to cut it in half, I'm going to take all the innards out, mix them together like you're making deviled eggs, then we're going to stuff it back in here and put it in the oven. I've got some green onion I'm going to chop, garlic butter, sour cream, and some shredded cheese. Nothing really that difficult. So all we got to do is just cut this potato right down the middle. You might hear my dog in the background. He's getting excited. I like to cut it so I've got one thick half and one thin half because I'm going to shell this out. Now you can do this with a spoon, you can do it with just about anything you want. I like to use a melon baller, but as far as this other side that I'm only making one, so the rest of this I'm going to throw away. I'm just going to peel the skin off of it as much as I can. With the other side, just go in here and scoop all this out. Once you've got everything scooped out into a bowl, I'll show you what's next. I've got my hold-out potato, and I've got the potato that came out of it. I'm going to chop up a little green onion. Put that right in the bowl. We're going to add a little garlic butter. I like quite a bit, so we're going to put about a tablespoon of it in there. I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sour cream. Now, if you don't like sour cream, then just use more butter, or you can use ranch dressing if you want, but I like sour cream. In fact, I'm going to use the rest of what's in there. Last thing I'm going to do is add cheese, and then I'm going to mash all this together. Now, a quick tip, there are 2 ways to make this easier. One, you can do it with a mixer, but it's going to make mush. Or 2, you can heat it up in the microwave for about 30 to 45 seconds. It'll make it much easier to blend together. I'm just going to beat this together. Like I said, if you want to use a mixer to really break it down, you can. I find that a whisk works because I don't like it really creamy. But if you want it that super creamy, almost like mashed potatoes, then by all means use a hand or stand mixer. I want it slightly chunky so it's still like a potato. Now a lot of people will add bacon to this. If you want to do that, by all means put bacon in it. I'm not doing bacon because I'm eating it seafood. I don't want bacon with my lobster. All we're going to do now is stuff this back into this shell. You can do it as pretty as you want. You can fill it from a pastry bag, or you can just dump it in there. I'm not entertaining anybody this evening other than me, so it's just going to go right back into the potato shell. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper on top of that. I'm going to put that into the oven at 350 and let it cook for about 20 minutes. It'll cook all that together. It's just awesome. What you see here is a 1-pound Brazilian lobster tail. That is not an optical illusion. That is amazing, amazing stuff. Now I'm going to show you how I separate it from the shell because I'm actually going to cook it on the pellet grill. I have no doubt you can search YouTube and find plenty of videos on how to prepare a lobster tail. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm just going to insert the scissor right here and just cut all the way down to the tail. Now this first segment I'm going to tear completely off because I don't need them, and it also makes for better presentation. The rest of these I'm going to try to leave intact as much as I can, just kind of pulling the meat away from the shell with my thumb as I move down all the way to the last segment. And then the same thing on the other side. You're just separating it so it'll come up out of there a little easier and look better on the plate. And then, now comes the tricky part. Once you've got it separated from the top of the shell, you got to get it separated from the bottom of the shell. The easiest way, there really isn't a good way, but the easiest way is just kind of take your thumb and just work around the inside, slowly pulling it up from the shell like so, all the way back, not taking it completely out. So it's just kind of hanging here. Then you're going to fold these flaps that you made under the meat, and we're going to set it on top. Just kind of spread it out like that. In doing that, it just looks better when you serve it on the plate. It just has that wow factor. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I've melted some garlic butter. I'm going to cut this little section right here. I've melted some garlic butter. I'm going to rub the garlic butter on here and the juice of a lemon with the garlic butter. And we're going to put it on the pellet grill at 400 degrees for 2 minutes an ounce, so about 30 minutes. Okay, so the grill is at 400, smoking like crazy. I've got my lobster prepared. I want to show you, before you put it on the grill, you want to fan out the tail. See that? That way, when it comes up, it just looks better, other than all those fins just stuck together. It almost looks like a big flower on the plate. So I've got my garlic butter with lemon, and I'm going to brush some of that onto the lobster. And we might do this a couple more times while it's cooking, just to keep it moist, but for now that's plenty. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. When you set this down, you want to make sure you fan out the tail. One for looks. Oops. But that tail will also show you how fast the lobster's cooking. So I want you to see it on the grill, and you can adjust this any way you want it to look. I like it just kind of popping up out of there. So let's see what it looks like. So there it is, cooking on the grill. And it needs to cook for about 2 minutes an ounce. Okay, so we are almost at the halfway point. I'm going to go ahead and open the grill and put some more butter on this thing, because butter and lobster are meant to be married. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's coming along nicely. More butter on there to keep that moisture going. Very important, because you have to remember, unlike beef and pork, seafood has very little fat in it. So you can, if you don't keep it moist, or if you cook it too fast, you're going to really dry it out. So it's real important to make sure you keep moisture in there. And you can see the shell has changed color. Let me zoom in so you can see that. And it's gotten really orange. So that's a good sign that we're really cooking along here. If I can tell just by the middle section, it's not quite done yet, but I would say we're probably 2/3 of the way there. Probably another 8 or 9 minutes, and we'll be done. You know the best thing about cooking? Eating. So let's do it. Let's plate this. Now behind me I've got this beautiful lobster tail. I've got my twice baked potato. I've got the leftover garlic butter and lemon. I've got a little bit of broccoli that I steamed real quick with some garlic butter and some Parmesan and a little bit of beer. And I actually used just about a ½ ounce of Anchor Steam, which is a medium-bodied ale, because it just gives it a little pop. So what we're going to do is we're going to decorate this plate, this square, with a little bit of the garlic butter, and then build the plate. I'll show you what it looks like. Now, if you've watched episodes of my show, you know I'm big on presentation. Spent a lot of time in the restaurant business. Presentation is 90% of people enjoying their food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this remaining coagulated garlic butter, and this little device is just a decorating pencil, and all I'm going to do is just kind of make squiggles across the plate, just to give it a little character. Now, if you want it a little easier to work with, heat that butter back up. You can see it's already coagulated, so it's going to kind of sit there. That's okay, because now I'm going to add a little Parmesan cheese just across the plate. Let it fall where it may. And then I'm going to plate meat first, potato, then veggies. The reason you do that, quite frankly, is so that you can use the space accordingly. So I'm going to fan out the tail, take the potato and sit across from it, and then we'll take our broccoli here, drain the liquid as much as possible. As well use it all, remake it. And last but not least, a lemon wedge, because we got seafood. I will show you what that looks like up close and personal in just a moment.